A major WWE executive is returning, plus a title match has been pitched for Saturday night's main event, and we have an exclusive on an AEW star's comeback plans. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling News right now. Here's something to wrestle with. PW Insider giving us an update on Bruce Pritchard today.
PW Insider saying the expectation within WWE is that Bruce Pritchard, the company's executive director, CWT, will be returning to his duties as soon as this week. He's been gone for a little while.
He was one of those that was very much a right-hand man in the previous administration, somebody that is a bit of a throwback to the previous administration, some that maybe thought might be moved on when the administration changed, but no, very much still a part of the product, but been away as a result of family health issues. It was something that Conrad Thompson addressed, because not only did he step away from his WWE duties, but he stepped away from the Something to Wrestle With podcast that he's been doing with Conrad for many years now. He said there's been a lot of rumor and innuendo about Bruce Pritchard. Just to clear it up, Bruce Pritchard is still with WWE. Bruce Pritchard is not quitting his podcast, but if you're a long-time listener of the show, you'll know that there have been health events in the Pritchard family and household, and right now Bruce is taking care of what's really important. That was a statement that Conrad put out ahead of the announcement that Bruce Pritchard is getting back to work, and it'll be interesting to see whether or not we see any changes within the product when Bruce is back in his seat.
Yeah, for sure. He's somebody who's still really, really hands-on. You're totally right in saying that he does feel like part of the previous generation of WWE. And I think it was a surprise to a lot of people to see Bruce come out and embrace Cody. Do you remember that? It was like, oh, okay, so he's not going anywhere, Bruce Pritchard, because obviously so many of Vince McMahon's right-hand men have since left the company. So it looks like Bruce is going to be sticking around.
More on that when we get it at cultaholic.com. Over we go to New Japan Pro Wrestling, where Fightful Select give us an update on one of the flagship stars of the company.
Saying IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion David Finlay is among the huge number of contracts in New Japan that are set to be up soon. New Japan sources say they expect Finlay to remain with the company, and that New Japan has expressed interest in retaining him. And I'm not surprised at all, because he's had a really tremendous upward trajectory for quite a while now. I think he's doing amazing work. I'm quite surprised, to be honest, that it looks as if he's going to be staying with New Japan, because there's the biggest part of me that's like, does he not want to do the WWE thing? They've expressed an interest before. Obviously, Fit Finlay, his father, has been integral in the production of WWE for quite a while as well, and I thought he might head over stateside.
I think that is still something that we may see eventually. I know he was very keen to do his own thing. I know his brother Brogan was in the developmental system as well, and I know that David Finlay's keen to find his own voice and find his own rhythm, and it might just be a case that he'll continue on this path that he's on and eventually find his way to one of the big companies on his own merit and his own speed, which is kind of a big part of his approach to it. We had him on Desert Island Graps the year before last, and very much a guy that doesn't want to be seen as the father of, the brother of, the sibling of.
I admire that.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
His thing.
And he really has made a name for himself as well. He's gone out to Japan and he's accomplished so much in the time that he's been out there. So I think you've got to say fair play to the guy.
It comes at the same time as both TJP and Kevin Knight have New Japan contracts that are expiring soon. We've seen them as part of New Japan Strong, and of course the New Japan product in Japan itself. As well as that, a change to the TV offering in the West for New Japan, as it was revealed in a statement to Post Wrestling that Access TV will no longer be airing content from New Japan Pro Wrestling for the foreseeable future. They say our agreement expired at the end of 2024, and we do not comment on the state of current or future agreements. Now, I think this is interesting because this comes at a time where we've seen a few people's TNA contracts expiring. Mm-hmm. One of those being Kushida. Now, Kushida had signed this deal that was kind of a hybrid TNA New Japan deal. And of course, with New Japan being on Axis, which is owned by Anthem, which own TNA, it would suggest that plus the the Kushida contract ending, that there's a very much a parting of the ways with TNA and New Japan.
Do you think they're related?
I think there might be a relation to. I wonder whether the plan was to do stuff, and this is just me a spitballing hot to it. And I think there might have been a plan potentially to have more of a crossover with New Japan and TNA. We saw it with a few events over the last couple of years where the two sides came together, but less so in the last year and a bit. So I feel like they're related.
Something's brewing here, isn't it? I think I agree. I think it's damaging for New Japan, who are really struggling to attract viewers outside of Japan. It's one thing that when we started doing this in 2015, 2016, New Japan was like hot. Bullet Club all over everything. Everybody wearing Bullet Club t-shirts. And since then, the support outside of Japan for New Japan has dwindled quite significantly. Among Westerners, you hear a lot fewer people talking about it. We struggle to cover it because of their really they're very, very hot on their intellectual property being used.
Hot
so
on
we can't even use like a picture of something that happened at an event because Asahi TV are just like they're pretty trigger happy with the cease and desist.
Same on socials as well. You see a lot of
the GIF accounts, right?
GIF accounts get shut down.
And to me, that's just promotion. I don't think that stuff puts anybody off from watching. And it's a way of finding a new audience, and an audience that really has dwindled over the past few years.
It is an interesting one. Meanwhile, in WWE, quite the opposite, an audience that is growing and is set to really be on the march this year. What with Netflix, with the Netflix deal getting underway, the first Raw on Netflix coming up this Monday. Live reactions.
Yes, myself and Andrew doing that. You know what? And they're pushing it. It's. I was a little bit worried with the Netflix thing. I was like, because we've seen them go to various places before, and then the network not spending any money on advertising, and they don't push it. Literally logged into Netflix the other day. First thing I see is Cody Rhodes' massive face. And it was him, Bianca, and Roman all going like that on the home screen as well. So they're pushing it. At least at this point in time, they are pushing it hard. Something happening from WrestleVotes saying the next Saturday night's main event, there is a big old title match planned for it.
Yeah, because at the last one, we saw Chelsea Green and Michin in the finals of the Women's United States Championship Tournament. That is a storyline that has continued to bubble over on television, and one that will crescendo, according to WrestleVote, with possibly a big stipulation match at the next Saturday night's main event, which is not that far away.
No, it's really soon, isn't it? It's the end of January? Week before the Rumble, I think it is. Great for Michin. Honestly, you know, I'm buzzing about this. It's good to see that she's still in this pretty hot feud and that she's getting the TV time. I think she's one of WWE's most consistent performers. I don't expect her to dethrone Chelsea Green here, who is going to have a whale of a time, already is having a whale of a time with that particular championship. But it's a really nice featured slot for Michin. And really, genuinely good for her, because I think she's been underutilized for the longest time.
Really, really has. It's one that we will keep an eye on there and on the podcast feed tomorrow morning. Now, there is no Cultaholic Classic SmackDown review. Myself and Matthew Gregg are back next week. But boy, do you have a treat on the podcast feed tomorrow morning. You have an exclusive, a Cultaholic exclusive. Oh, we're starting the new year, not with a bang, but with a boom! I had a lovely chat with the Costco guys.
Amazing.
You're on there.
Yeah, I'm not boom worthy, unfortunately.
Oh, of course you are. Big Boom AJ and Big Justice. I had a chat with them just the other day. Lovely lads. And
I love them. I didn't know who they were, and I don't want to sit here. You've just interviewed them and everything. I was unfamiliar. I don't use TikTok, and then that stuff started popping up on Instagram Reels because I'm a granddad and I get everything like a month and a half later than TikTok. And at the beginning, I was just, I don't double choc cookie. But I was like, what? Why is this popular? It's got like 40 million views or something. And the more you watch him, and then you watch him step into a wrestling ring, and I was like, oh, okay, this guy's cool, isn't he? I like him. He seems like a good guy. And especially when you consider that match he had at Full Gear, he had with a broken freaking foot. And I asked him about it, and he gave us an exclusive at Cultaholic. He explained how he broke his foot in the
the first place.
Yeah, saying, so here's what happened. No, so here's what happened. It was about 2:00 in the afternoon. We probably get about 15 minutes in the ring, so just to feel it out before the next guys have to get in, talking about the rehearsals here. I was testing the ropes, moving around a little bit, and I knew at some point I was going to go to the top rope that night, so I really want to get a feel for it. I go to jump down, and I landed on somebody's foot, and I didn't know it was broken. I was feeling so good coming into that match. I've been doing physical therapy, I've been training just right, my shoulders, my back, everything feeling great. I didn't know it was a break.
Big Justice gives his dad some grief because he was trying out the top rope stuff in his sneakers rather than in his wrestling boots. He's like, had your boots on, probably would have been all right.
He's actually right there, though, isn't he?
He is absolutely right. A wonderful moment in the interview where I ask how the recovery is going to Big Boom AJ, and Big Justice just completely intervenes, gone, yeah, it's going great. He's going to be wrestling in March.
Cheers, kid.
To which Big Boom AJ then confirms that he and AEW are talking about Big Boom AJ getting back in the ring at AEW Revolution, an exclusive for us here at Cultaholic. And I think I think the Big Boom AJ, the Costco guys thing, I think you have them in these pay-per-view moments on the 0 hour.
Yep.
I think put them on 0 hour, build your audience, and I do you know what? Give them a big match at All in Texas. Build to it.
Yeah, why not?
Give them.
Why not? I find
World
them
title.
I find them so endearing, and honestly, it was my favorite match on that pay-per-view because it made me feel something. You know what? The in-ring work in AEW, obviously, like it's fantastic. And pay-per-views never let us down as far as in-ring stuff goes. Sometimes I struggle to feel anything, and really that's what wrestling's all about. And an old man with a broken foot, his son, and whoever that other one is, getting involved. It was nice, wasn't it? It was really nice, and it made me feel. So best of luck to him. I'm just
still reading from where you went. I struggled to feel anything.
Well, no, it's not
Top
like
10 anime deaths. Adam Pacitti. 2025.
I think it's a fair point to make. That I don't always emotionally invest in the way that I would like to with certain programming. I'm happy to admit that. And all you need is 3 nutters off TikTok.
Yeah, you do.
Apparently.
Also in the interview, I asked a few questions about AJ's first wrestling run back in the 90s when he was Tundra.
It's a good name.
Yeah, and Eric Justice, his early gimmicks. We talk about them. Plus,
I've heard Eric Justice. A Tundra is cool.
Tundra's brilliant.
Somebody needs to steal that.
Yeah, I think I might get on it. Plus, I played him, Matthew, Joel, and Jack bringing the boom, and they gave it a rating.
Oh, we're going to have to tune in to find out what it'll be. It's a doom. It's got to be a state of that.
It's on the podcast feed tomorrow morning. If you are a Patreon, as a thank you, there's a video version waiting for you as well tomorrow morning. Patreon.com/Cultaholic, bringing the boom to you for New Year. And for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe and bring the boom.